Hello once again, everyone. Let me get straight to it. Subscribe and like. Now let's get busy. The dumbest street in the world is Wall Street, and I'm going to prove it. Abraham Lincoln said, "Labor will always be superior to capital because labor precedes capital." Let me repeat that. Labor is superior to capital because labor precedes capital. In other words, there is no necessity for capital if there is no labor. Now, that was Lincoln's take on the situation. My take is different. There are no inventors, producers, farmers, or craftsmen on Wall Street. Just investors, and they're not good at that without laws to protect them from their own incompetence. Let me repeat that again. There are no inventors, producers, farmers, or craftsmen on Wall Street. Just investors, and they're not good at that without laws to protect them from their own incompetence. This is what Obama meant when he said banks are too big to fail. Banks are too big to fail because of their incompetence. Now, two times in history, Wall Street was allowed to do their thing. The one time was in the 1930s, and we know what happened then. We call it the Great Depression. Wall Street had to be bailed out. Now, what caused the Great Depression? Well, in the 1920s, there was Black Wall Street, and there were 140 black banks. Let me repeat that. There were 140 black banks. Like Wall Street, those banks were bombed and they were put out of business. So Wall Street tried to take over, and it led to the Great Depression. Now, let's go to 2008. What did Wall Street do? They caused another depression and recession, and they had to be bailed out. I have a question for you. If you're an intelligent person and you have millions and billions of dollars and you go broke, what does that say about your level of intelligence? It doesn't say much. What is Wall Street good at? They are good at lobbying the government to balance their stupidity. They need a balance to their stupidity. I mean, how do you go broke when you don't produce anything? You have no overhead. You have no overhead whatsoever, and you do what? You go broke. How intelligent could such people be? In my opinion, not very intelligent at all. Don't believe the cap. Don't believe the hype. A thing is what it does, its character. Lobbying the government to cover up your stupidity does not make you intelligent. You don't make anything. You don't produce anything. You have no overhead. All you have to do is leave the market alone, and it balances itself. It is self-balancing. It is designed, it is not a market in the first place. It is inventors, producers, farmers, craftsmen. That is everything. That is the balance. The law of supply and demand is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It is a stupid capitalist ideology which states that the more people desire something or need it to survive, the more we should charge for it. And guess who the we are? They are not the producers, farmers, craftsmen, or inventors. They are Wall Street looking to make a buck off of someone else's hard work. And it is for this reason Abraham Lincoln said, labor will always be superior to investors because it precedes. And you know what that means? It means that labor does not need Wall Street. Labor does not need Wall Street. For what? All Wall Street does is transfer the money that inventors, producers, farmers, and craftsmen make into the hands of people who do nothing for a living. Who do nothing for a living. What do Wall Street investors do for a living? Have you ever thought about that? They do nothing. They play with a bale. They play with a bale. And then they go out and then they trade and buy stocks. What are stocks? Stocks are nothing. They are nothing. They are a financial instrument which is used to take the icing off the top of the cake. That's all it does. That's all it does. When you take out a loan from a bank, the loan should be given to you by the bank, and you should pay the bank back interest and no stockholders. The bank should get back interest from the money the government gives to the bank to lend to you. Unfortunately, the government gives the money to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve loans the money back to the government, which makes no sense. And with this being said, I could live with that thievery if Wall Street were not so incompetent and had to be bailed out. If I am incorrect, correct me. If you think that Wall Street is intelligent, let me put it this way. Is Wall Street intelligent? The question is rhetorical. Have a nice evening. God bless us all.